Pick a color, any color, step right up. Look at all the colors. Lots of colors. They say an eco-friendly house can't be built in 150 days for $150,000, and I say it can. I'm Alan Smith. Join me as I push the limits with time, budget, and creativity with the Garden Home Challenge, exclusively on ehowhome. For some, choosing paint colors can be daunting, if not bewildering, and sometimes even terrifying. Because, well, there's just so many choices that you can make. I mean, just look at this color fan. I mean, there's probably thousands here to choose from, and you can create variations on your own of any of these colors. What I like to do is take a very simple approach, and that's what we've done here in this house. We're starting with just a basic white primer on the walls, and I went ahead and chose my trim color, and I went with a very clear, clean white called Snow White. So the trim in this bathroom and the walls will be done in Snow White. But right now, all we have is the primer on the walls. We have beadboard and we have pine planks for our door surrounds, the shelf surrounds, as well as the window surrounds. Now why don't we step into the hallway? You can see that this entire hall is going to be painted white because it's long and narrow, and I wanted it to feel as open and spacious as possible. That's the great thing about color, because you can create these sorts of illusions. And then we're adding touches of color in each of the rooms to give them their own personality. So step into this bedroom and meet Sweet Caroline. A beautiful green, a great restful color for a bedroom. What I did is I went to the paint store and found, well, a color that I liked, or I thought I liked, and I got a sample of it and I painted it on a board and I played around with it in the light. And I decided that this Sweet Caroline was a really nice color. Now, one of the things that I like to do is to give a room more height than what I do for the ceiling. I like to go with a lighter color, and rather than just going with stark white, and you can see right now the ceiling hasn't been painted because it is still painted the primer color, I'm going to go with a shade lighter than Sweet Caroline on the ceiling, and that'll give a sense of height in the space. The trim is all in Snow White here, and it's done in a semi-gloss, so it's got a little bit of shine to it. So when you're cleaning baseboards or cleaning the doors, they're easier to clean, so it's got a little gloss to it. And then for the walls themselves, this is an eggshell, so it has a little bit more of a matte-like finish on it than the trim itself. So let's go down the hall and step into the next bedroom where the ceiling is painted, and you can see what I'm talking about. Although there, you're going to meet Spring Iris, an entirely different color. Come on. Yes, it's very purple. Well, it's lavender. Another restful color for a bedroom. I've done this before on other design projects where we've used a lavender. It's a very surprising color for people. So in this case, I used Spring Iris on the walls, and the ceiling, again, is a shade lighter, and it is painted Nosegay. Again, it gives that idea of lift. Okay, now we talked just a moment about finishes. You know, you can get a sheen chart, which is important, which can actually give you sort of a sense of how these feel to touch or how they look. You have flat, you have eggshell, getting glossier as we go, pearl, satin, and then semi-gloss. And you can go all the way down on the exterior to a high gloss, which can look great on furniture or even on porch floors. You see the idea, the more gloss a paint has, the more washable it becomes. So just keep that in mind. And hey, think about this. Just imagine, we have paper on the floor here. We're going to paint the floors, and they're going to be a really dark brown. So it's going to work really well, I think, with all these lighter colors. Let me know what you think. Send me an email, and make sure you subscribe to ehowhome.